there, my name is Kelly Dale and I'm owner of Off the Beaded Path located in Forest City, North Carolina. I get requests all the time for anklets, especially in the spring and summer months. So today I'm going to show you what I call the simple summer anklet. This is a 2-needle technique and you need very little as far as a range of supplies. You need very little. You're going to need 205 3mm round beads. I'm going to be using a hematite color. You're going to need 20 4mm bicones. I'm going to use a crystal AB color. You're going to need a clasp. You can use any clasp that you want to, but normally when I do an anklet, I'll use a lobster claw with an extender chain, so that way if you make the anklet and someone needs it just a little bit bigger, they can use that extender chain and be okay with it. You're also going to need 2 beading needles, 2.5 yards of fire line. Now you can use a 6-pound or an 8-pound fire line, either one will work. The only other thing that you'll need, and it's totally optional, are 2 wire protectors. And in my actual pattern, I don't use those, but I'm using a little bit bigger of a lobster claw today, so I'm going to use it and kind of go with it through that. So get your materials together and we'll get started. So this is the anklet that I'm going to teach you how to make today. As you can see, all your 3mm are along the outer edge, and your 4mm bicones are here in the center. This first one is opaque white with the citrine yellow, and the second one is a silver with turquoise double AB. And this turquoise one really shines when you actually see it in person. It's really pretty. These are the 2 color samples that we'll have kits for, as well as the color sample that I'll be doing for today's video. Now, I wanted to show you, you can see here I've used a lobster claw with a perfect ring attached to it and no wire protector. If you don't want to use a wire protector, you don't have to. And I want to show you the other end too so you can see that end. But I'm using a little bit of a larger lobster claw today, so I'm going to be using a wire protector. So, first things first, I've got a needle on each end of my 2.5 yards of fire line. I'm going to take one needle. I'm going to go up one side of the wire protector and down through the other side. I'm going to put my 2 needles together. I'm going to hold this wire protector and pull the threads. So that way the wire protector ends up exactly in the center of my thread. I'm going to pick up my lobster claw, thread it on, and let it fall down into my wire protector. I'm going to pick up 1 3mm, and I'm going to go up through that 3mm the same way with the other needle, so that both needles are coming out of the 3mm in the same direction. Not going opposites, going the same. So that when you do, that 3mm is down here at your wire protector. You'll separate your needles. One 3mm onto each needle. Let those fall. And then you'll pick up 1 3mm and cross opposite ways through that 1 3mm, so that when you pull, it gives you a little box. With each needle, you want to pick up 3 3mm, let those fall, and then on one needle, I'm going to pick up 1 4mm bicone. I'm going to thread it onto the needle and pull it off just a little bit, and then I'm going to take the other needle, I'm going to go up through the same bead in that same direction, so that way both threads are coming out of the bicone in the same direction. And I'm going to pull that down so that all my beads are here to the bottom. Now, as you can see, there is an open circle here where I've just added my last beads. So I'm going to take the 4mm bicone and I'm going to fold it back over this hole, as so. I'm going to take the right hand thread and I'm going to go through the 3mm here on the right side. And I'm going to keep my finger on them so that way it'll help them stay nice and tight as I pull through. Now when I do the left side, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take the left needle and I'm going to go through the 3mm here on the left side. So that when you pull, this is what you should have. You can pull those threads. Now, I'm on one needle. I'm going to pick up one 3mm and I'm going to cross my needles opposite ways through that one bead. So that once you do that, it closes up that open hole that you've got there. Now you're going to see just a little bit of thread, just a tiny bit of thread here on the top and the bottom of the bicone, but it's completely okay. So your first little box has been made. Now from this point, we're going to do a repetitive pattern. So on each needle, first step of my repetitive pattern is each needle picks up one 3mm. Let that fall. On one needle, pick up one 3mm, and you're going to cross your needles opposite ways through that one bead. Each needle picks up three 3mm. Let those fall, and on one needle you're going to pick up one 4mm bicone, slide it down onto the thread just a little bit, and then take your other needle and go up through the bead the same way so that both needles are coming out of that bicone. Pull it down. Take the bicone, lay it back over your open hole here. The needle on the right goes through the 3mm on this side. Then the left hand needle, take it and go through the 3mm on the left hand side. Be sure and separate your needles. And on one needle, pick up one 3mm and cross your needles opposite ways through that one 3mm so that when you pull, it gives you your next diamond shape. So from here on, you're going to repeat your pattern of a 4-bead box and a diamond shape, a 4-bead box and a diamond shape, until you reach the desired length. For an 11-inch anklet, you'll need 20 of your diamond shapes. So continue until you reach the desired length, and I'll show you how to finish it off. Once you finish the last diamond shape, you're ready to finish out your pendant piece, or your end. So with each needle, we're going to start off like we normally would. We're going to pick up one 3mm on each one, and then with the other needle, we're going to pick up one 3mm and go up through that bead the same direction with both needles, so that when we pull, we get our nice little pointy box like we did on the other end. Now with one needle only, so just one needle, I'm going to pick up my wire protector. I'm going to go up one side, down the other side, and then before I pull it all the way down, I'm going to thread on my extender chain. And then bring it the rest of the way down. I'm going to go down through the bead here at the top, through the bead here on the right, and then through my bead here that connects them. Using my other needle, I'm going to do the same thing I did. I'm going to go up through one side of the wire protector, through the extender chain, down through the other side of the wire protector, and then through the 1 3mm there at the top. Now I'm going to go through the left hand 3mm, and then through my connection bead again, so that now I have the extender chain added for the other side. So you can do half hitch knots with each needle by going under the thread between two beads, leaving yourself a little knot, and then going through the knot and pulling. Or you can stitch the one needle over to the other side, and then you can tie these two threads together in a couple of good knots. It's completely up to you how you want to do it. Either way will work. And then I'll stitch through a few beads and then trim the tails. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video this week and that you enjoyed learning how to make this simple summer anklet. We do have all 3 color combinations in kits available on our Etsy page, as well as the pattern. You can also find the pattern to purchase at offthebeadedpathbeadstore.com. When you make one of these, or if you do, be sure and post a picture on our Facebook page so that everybody can see the colors that you did or any alterations that you made to the pattern. So I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Be sure and come back next week when I'm going to teach you how to make a fun floral style necklace. So we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.